Left for dead after refusing a marriage, a human warrior hoisted her into his arms. Elias Kane's plasma cutter bit into the escape pod's hatch. Metal groaned and split under the blue-white arc. Smoke poured out, thick with the tang of burnt circuits and alien blood. He kicked the hatch free. Inside, Lady Siri Ven slumped against the crash webbing, her iridescent scales dulled by grime, one arm clamped over a gash in her side. Blue blood seeped between her fingers. Alive. Barely. Kane ducked in, mag boots clamping to the deck. "Pilot, confirm beacon lock. I've got the package." Mari's Holt's voice crackled over his helmet comm. "Beacon's hot, Sergeant, but you've got company. 3 skiffs inbound, 2 clicks east. Prefect Orun's colors, move fast." He sliced the webbing with his vibroknife. Siri's violet eyes snapped open, slit pupils dilating. She hissed, claws flexing toward his faceplate. "Easy," Kane said, voice low through the translator. "Sergeant Elias Kane, Republic Marines, here to extract you." Her gaze flicked to his human features, broad jaw, scarred cheek, then to the pod's flickering console. "Lies, my kin dumped me here to die. You are hunter or fool." "Neither." He scooped her up, her frame lighter than expected under the silken robes. She weighed like a rucksack half full. Her blood slicked his gloves. He backed out, pod smoke cloaking them. Plasma bolts scorched the air overhead. The first skiff crested the ridge, its search beam stabbing down. Prefect Orun's enforcers, armored Vorani with pulse rifles, leaned out, firing in controlled bursts. Kane bolted for cover behind a boulder cluster. Rounds chipped stone, winding off his adaptive armor. He dumped Siri prone, peeled back her robe. The wound gaped, shrapnel tear 3 inches long, pulsing blue. "Stay down." He slapped a field gel patch over it, clear polymer hardening on contact, then duct tape 3 layers cinched tight, no time for sutures. Siri gasped, fangs bared. "It burns, human witchery." "Seals the bleed, you'll live." He checked the patch, holding. Her scales knit faintly around the edges, Vorani region kicking in. Mari's cut in. "Skiffs deploying troops, 15 hostiles, fanning out. You've got 90 seconds to exfil Kane." Kane dragged the pod's emergency kit to its beacon array. Exposed wiring sparked. He yanked the power cell, fist-sized crystal humming with Vorani tech. Their trackers rode the same freak as the distress beacon. Simple reroute. He stripped insulation with plier tips, bridged the leads. The beacon died. In its place, a jammer pulse bloomed, low freak burst scrambling local signals. Skiff engines whined in confusion overhead. Siri watched, propped on an elbow. "You sabotage our net." "Orun will trace it." "Not if I make it wideband." Kane twisted the final wire. Jammer hummed steady, trackers offline. "Buys us time." Boots thudded closer, enforcers rappelling down. Kane slung his pulse carbine, sighted the lead. Single shot, center mass. The Vorani crumpled, armor smoking. "Up," he told Siri. "Can you move?" She tested her legs, wincing, stood, tall, elegant despite the blood. "For now, but Orun wants me wed alive. He will not stop." Kane nodded. "Wed to some rival lord," Intel said. Her escape, staged to force compliance, dumped on this fringe moon to die, making return look like mercy. Politics. He hated it. He looped her arm over his shoulder. Together, they sprinted for the ravine, jagged scar dropping 50 meters into shadow. Patrol beams swept the ridgeline lazy arcs from the skiffs. "Down!" Kane shoved her ahead, then slid after. Gravel skittered. They hit the ravine floor, boots sinking in scree. Enforcers shouted above, voices carrying on the thin wind. "The noble jammer source." Kane pulled Siri behind a rock overhang. Pulse fire stitched the ravine lip. He tapped his comm. "Holt window. Dropship ETA 5 mics. Hostiles vectoring your pose. Go dark." Dark it was. Ravine twisted like a vein. Walls sheer obsidian veined with glow moss. Patrol beams stabbed down. Vorani tech motion-linked, sweeping in grids. Siri breathed hard beside him. Her hand gripped his arm plate, claws dimpling the ceramic. Trust or desperation? "Quiet," Kane whispered. He scanned the beams, 3 patterns overlapping every 10 seconds. Gap at 7, he counted, 1, 2. "Move." On 7, he hauled her forward, low crawl through ankle-deep sludge. Beams passed overhead, missing by inches. She matched him, silent despite the pain. Noble training, maybe, or survival instinct, another gap. They gained 20 meters, voices echoed closer, Orun's troops descending ropes. Kane spotted a side crevice, narrow chute angling deeper. "In there," Siri hesitated. "Too tight, trap, cover," he pushed her first. She wedged through, scales scraping. He followed, armor whining against stone. Inside, a fissure cave, bioluminescent fungi pulsing faint blue, echoes muffled. He checked her wound, tape held, gel intact. Sit, rest. She slid down the wall, eyes locked on him. Why? Humans meddle in Voran affairs for gain. Alliance, trade. Kane reloaded his carbine, ears tuned to the ravine. Contract, Republic Embassy flagged your beacon, said high-value asset. Didn't specify bride. Her laugh rasped, bitter. Asset, yes. Siri Ven discarded for defying the Union. Orun enforces it. Retrieve me, break me, deliver to Lord Cavern. Footfalls crunched outside. Kane signaled silence. He edged to the crevice, mouth peaked. 6 enforcers filed past, beam sweeps probing. One paused, sniffing the air, Vorani heightened senses. Kane's finger tightened on the trigger. The enforcer moved on. Siri leaned close, breath warm on his neck scales, no, his neck. You fight like shadow, no boasts. My guards charge, die loud. Quiet works. He scanned her face, defiance softening to curiosity. Her hand brushed his gauntlet, not clawing now. Mari's broke static. Kane, thermals lighting up. Orun's lead skiff landing half-click north. He's planetside. Copy, holding. Siri tensed. Orun himself. He smells weakness, will not leave empty-clawed. Kane stood, offered a hand. She took it. Human palm engulfed her four-fingered grip. Solid. Extraction points 2 clicks south. We move. They slipped back into the ravine. Beams hunted wider now, but the jammer held. Kane led carbine ready. Siri matched stride, dagger drawn from her boot, curved Vorani steel. A beam caught them mid-stride. Locked. Down! Kane tackled her into mud. Enforcer shouted triumph. Pulse fire erupted. Kane rolled, returned fire, double tap, dropped the shooter. But more poured in. 10 closing fast. Siri rose, snarling, hurled her dagger. It buried in an enforcer's throat. He gurgled, fell. Kane grinned under his visor. Nice throw. She snatched up a fallen pulse rifle, alien hands awkward on the grip. Fired, hit. Together they retreated, fire and movement. Human precision met Vorani ferocity. Orun's voice boomed from a skiff amp. Siri Ven, yield, the Union awaits, she spat. Never, Kane yanked her into a side gully. Pilot, we're pinned, need that bird now. 2 mics. Hang tight, rounds chewed the walls. Siri reloaded the rifle, hands steadying. Her eyes met his, trust forged in mud and fire. A shadow loomed overhead. Orun's skiff, rotors thumping, grapples deploying. Kane primed a frag. Get ready to run. She nodded, no words needed. The grenade arced true. Explosion rocked the ravine. Skiff listed, enforcers tumbling into the blast. Kane grabbed Siri's arm. Run! They bolted down the ravine. Shrapnel pinged off rocks. Pulse rounds snapped overhead. Siri's claws dug into his sleeve for balance. Her breath rasped, Vorani lungs straining in thin air. Kane checked his HUD, 1 click and a half to the LZ. Extraction window shrinking. Pilot status. Engines hot, 1 mic, clear the ridge south, hostiles vectoring. Orun's skiff screamed in pursuit. 2 now grapples retracted. Kane shoved Siri ahead. Zig left. She vaulted a boulder. He covered, snap-firing bursts. 1 skiff veered, smoking rotor. Good hit from the frag. They hit a fork. Kane veered south, steeper drop. Siri stumbled, scales scraping stone. Sergeant, we halt, assess wounds. No stops. Kane pulled her upright. They'll ping us thermal, move. Her golden eyes flashed. I command here, you obey as auxiliary. Kane kept pace, carbine sweeping. Auxiliary saves your hide. We stop, we're dead. 2 clicks was the plan, execute. She snarled but matched his stride. Ravine narrowed, forcing single file. Kane led, boots grinding scree. Siri's rifle barked behind, dropped a trailing enforcer. Sweat stung his eyes under the visor. Legs burned. But routine pushed through. Enforcers flanked high ground, beams lanced down. Down! Kane tackled her again, mud splashed. He rolled, fired up, hit. Siri popped up, rifle steady, double tap. Another down, they scrambled on, half click. Siri gasped. Water, my canteen dry. Save it. Kane ignored his own parched throat. LZ beacon pulsed green on HUD, but skiffs closed, 3 now. Orun's voice amplified. Siri, the prefect's mercy ends soon. She spat gravel. Traitor cur. Kane spotted a overhang, shallow cave, scrap metal twisted from old mining rigs. Thermal dead zone potential. Here, shelter. Siri lunged for cover. Kane yanked her back. Not yet, help me. He slung carbine, grabbed rusted panels. Siri hesitated, then gripped one. Vorani's strength hauled it easy, superior muscle density. Together they dragged sheets over the mouth, wedged with boulders. Kane piled loose rock last, burying heat signature. Inside, dim glow from his tack light, air thick with rust and damp. Siri slumped against wall, rifle across knees. Now we wait. Kane knelt, checked ammo. Low. Hide and cool, they'll sweep thermal, we're ghosts. She watched him work, no gratitude spoken, just eyes narrowing, calculating. Minutes ticked. Skiffs thrummed overhead, beams sweeping. Drones whined close, then away. Kane's suit cycled air, masking breath heat. Siri shifted. You're kind, mercenaries, why aid me? Contract. Kane pulled his last water pouch, sealed, human-grade filter, he tossed it. Drink, then talk. Full story. She caught it, claws clicking plastic, sniffed, drank deep. Relief washed her face, scales relaxing. Prefect Orun serves my house's rivals. My betrothal to Lord Cavern seals alliance. I refuse. They strand me here accident. Body found, compliance forced on my kin. Kane nodded, no surprise, politics same galaxy-wide. Dumped to die clean. Vorani way. She wiped mouth, handed pouch back half full. Your water last? Yeah. He capped it, clipped to belt. Didn't drink, why? Earned intel. He scanned HUD, hostiles circling wide. Extraction pinned us earlier, now they hunt blind. Pilot. 30 seconds, ridge clear. Affirm, but Orun's closing. Siri rose, dagger back in boot, rifle ready. You fight like no auxiliary. Precise, relentless. Training. Kane stood, no brag, just fact. Skiff roar swelled, rocks trembled. Orun's voice. Found you, vermin. Beams pierced the pile, rock glowed, cracked. Kane primed last frag. Out the back, go. Siri kicked loose stone, narrow crawl space. She wedged through, curves scraping. Kane followed, shoving panels to collapse entrance. Outside, sheer drop to riverbed. LZ flat below. Dropship engines whined, Mari's inbound. Enforcers repelled the ridge, 10 meters off. Siri fired, dropped one. Kane covered, carbine barking. 2 down, jump, he pointed ledge. She leaped Vorani grace, landing roll, he followed, boots thudding. Pulse fire stitched ground, dropship crested, ramp dropping. Mari's board hot. Kane sprinted, Siri beside. Skiff dove, grapples out. Orun leaned, pistol raised. Kane spun, snapshot, hit arm. Orun recoiled, they hit ramp. Siri dove in, Kane last, slapping panel, ramp wind up. Rounds pinged hull, engines roared, ship banked hard. Inside, Mari's punched controls from cockpit. Strap in, punch out in 3. Kane collapsed into jump seat, Siri across, chest heaving. She met his gaze, no words, but claws unclenched. Orun's skiff pursued, firing wild, Mari's jinked. Missiles away, twin plumes streaked. Skiff erupted, fireball, Siri exhaled. You planned that shelter. Knew their scans. Kane unslung carbine. Standard op. He offered the water pouch again. Finish it. She took it, drank, handed back empty. Sergeant Kane, Elias, I misjudged. Elias, he nodded, we're square. Dropship climbed, stars wheeled. But sensors pinged, more skiffs inbound. Mari's, company strapped tight. Siri gripped harness, looked at Kane. Trust in her eyes now earned in mud, fire, and shared thirst. Kane checked mags, fight not over. Ridge faded below. Orun's remaining skiff circled wreckage, beams hunting ghosts. But they were gone. Deeper ravine twisted ahead in Kane's mind, next hide planned already. Siri watched him. No orders this time, ship shuddered. Pursuit closed, Kane leaned forward. Pilot, evasive pattern delta. Buy us distance. Roger. Siri's hand brushed his arm, steady. Alliance forged, but Orun's fleet loomed on scopes. Real hunt just starting. Boots crunched gravel outside the ravine. Lady Siri tensed beside SGT. Elias Kane, her iridescent scales rippling under caked mud. Voices echoed, clipped, authoritative. Lady Ven, Prefect Orun sends aid, show yourself. Kane pressed a finger to his lips. Siri nodded, claws digging into rock. He de-rigged the triplines an hour ago, standard for a hot LZ. Now they sang, the lead hunter stepped forward. Wire snapped taut. Flares burst skyward, red strobes painting the ravine walls, shouts erupted. Contact, traps. Kane yanked Siri's arm. Move now. She scrambled after him, lithe despite exhaustion. Blaster fire cracked overhead as hunters fanned out, beams slicing shadows. They hit the culvert mouth, a concrete throat choked with debris barely wide enough for human shoulders. Kane shoved her in first. Crawl, don't stop. Her tail lashed, scraping walls. He followed, carbine slung tight. Behind, hunters closed. Scan the drain, she's pinned. Kane thumbed a charge from his vest, stuck it to the lip. Brace! He slapped the remote. Flashbang roared, blinding light, thunderclap echo. Concrete crumbled, sealing the breach in a rockslide roar. Dust choked the air. Siri coughed ahead. They'll dig through. Not before we flank. Kane pushed forward. The culvert dumped them into a side gully, dry streambed twisting uphill. He scanned thermals, no signatures yet. Good. Mari's voice crackled in his earpiece, low and steady. Elia's overwatch, 600's inbound your pose. Skiff circling rim. Extraction window 60 mics if you hit the ridge. Roger, buy me eyes. Kane pulled Siri behind a boulder cluster. She leaned close, breath ragged, eyes wide, not fear, calculation. Her people had dumped her here, politics demanding her inevitable death before the marriage sealed. Orun's job, fetch the corpse or the compliant bride. Footsteps echoed from the gully fork. Lead tracker armored, scanner humming, crested the rise. Kane ghosted left, boots silent on sand, waited for the nod to squadmates below. Tracker paused, sniffed the air, alien senses sharp for pheromones. Kane struck. Arm hooked neck, choke precise. Tracker thrashed, claws raking air. Kane twisted, drove knee into spine. Gurgle faded. Lights out, Siri hissed from cover. Kane dragged the body into shadow, stripped the comm tag, a pulsing crystal fob. Stay low. He synced it to his wrist rig, alien code cracking under human decrypt protocols. Routine. Orun's voice barked from the tag. Report, Kale. Dead end, Kane pitched his voice low, mimicked the slur. Affirm, Prefect, culvert collapsed, tracks lead east fork to the blind canyon, she's holed up. Pause, Orun growled. Double pace, shackles ready, polite retrieval only. Copy, Kane crushed the tag under heel. Sparks died, Siri stared. You, spoke their dialect, used his code. Standard op, Kane checked his mag, half left. They'll chase ghosts 10 minutes, we take the ridge trail. She fell in step, matching his crouch run. Mud flaked from her scales, revealing azure patterns. My kin abandoned me. Orun serves the contract, why risk this? Job's the job. He didn't elaborate, humans didn't boast, they delivered. Blaster whine split air. Hunters diverted, but flankers probed. Beams scorched rock inches away. Kane spun, suppressed rounds stitching the shooter's leg. Non-lethal drop. 2 more closing north. Mari's cut in. Got eyes, skiff dipping low, you're 12. Kane pulled Siri into a crevasse. Down. They wedged tight, her body pressed to his, warm, scaled hide against fatigues. Heart hammered not just from run, she didn't pull away. Skiff thrummed overhead, downdraft whipping grit. Spotlight swept. Siri's claws gripped his vest. Steady pressure, not panic, light passed. Engines faded east, diverted perfect. Kane exhaled. Clear up. They climbed. Ridge loomed, sheer but laddered with fissures. Siri scaled like liquid, pulling him at one overhang. Alien grip, strength superior. He matched with boot jams, human endurance grinding steady. Halfway comm buzzed. Orun, Kale, status? Silence. Then rage. Flank teams. Converge blind canyon now, Kane smirked. Bought us time. Siri paused, perched on a ledge. Wind tugged her tattered robes. You fight for a stranger, no glory, no pact. He clipped a carabiner, testing hold. Pacts form in fire, keep climbing. Mari's, Elia's hostiles rerouting. Canyon's a box, your play worked. Dropship spooling, 40 mics. Roger, eyes on Orun. Skiff inbound canyon, he's pissed. Good, Kane topped the ridge. Flat scrub stretched to the LZ marker, faint chemlight pulsing. Siri crested beside him, scanning horizon. Her nostrils flared, alien senses picking scents he missed. Incoming, she whispered. Southwest, 3 hunters, chains clinking. Kane dropped prone, thermals up. Signatures bloomed, armored, manacles dangling from belts. Polite lies ready, rescue for the noble they'd dragged to wedlock. Flank right, he crawled left. Siri mirrored, silent as shadow. Lead hunter called out, voice oily. Lady Siri, Prefect Orun assures your safety. The Union awaits, honor restored. She spat dirt. Lies. They left me to break. Kane signaled. She nodded, trust locked now. He rolled out, flash grenade arcing, burst blinded them. Siri lunged, claws raking, weapons free. Kane followed, buttstroke dropping the first. Second swung chains, Kane sidestepped, choke again. Third bolted. Siri tackled him, knee pinning throat. Yield. He gurgled assent. Kane zip-tied them, rifled pouches, medkits, water tabs, tossed one to Siri. Hydrate. She tore it open, eyes locked on his. Elia's, you turn death to path. Teamwork. He keyed Mari's. LZ hot. Hostiles down, more inbound, punch in. Dropship 8 to 20, ramp hot. They sprinted scrub. Blaster fire cracked distant or canyon ambush unfolding. Orun's roar echoed on wind. Siri stumbled, twisted ankle from culvert. Kane scooped her, fireman carry, light, strong. She stiffened, then relaxed against his back, claws sheathed. Mari's adjust vector, passenger assist. Copy thrusters hot. Ramp wine-pierced sky. Dropship banked in, dust devil swirling. Siri slid down unaided, hit ramp first. Kane last, slapping panel. Rounds pinged hull. Engines roared. Inside, Siri collapsed into jump seat, chest heaving. She met his gaze, claws unclenched, but scopes lit. Orun's skiff pursued, firing wild. Kane unslung carbine, fight far from over. Prefect Orun slammed his console. All skiffs. Vectors to ridge, extraction attempted. His fleet mobilized, nooses tightening. But in the dropship's bay, two survivors shared a nod. Alliance sealed in ravine grit. Sensors screamed, missiles locked. Evasion now or dust. Mari's jinked hard. Hold on. Dropship bucked like a wild beast. Alarms wailed. Kane gripped the jump seat harness, eyes locked on the tack display. Missiles streaked red icons, closing fast. Chaff out, Mari's barked from the cockpit. Explosions bloomed behind them. The ship shuddered, but one missile clipped the tail. Siri clutched her restraints, crest flaring violet. Her claws dug into the armrests. Kane unstrapped. Damage! Port engine flaming out. We're dropping into the flats. Brace! Hull groaned. Ground rushed up, jagged toxic pans, steam vents hissing poison. Impact slammed Kane forward. Metal tore, lights flickered black. Silence hit, then acrid smoke. Kane kicked his harness free. Blood trickled from a gash on his forehead. He shook it off. Mari's Siri. Pilot alive, Mari's croaked over intercom. Spine's intact. Ship's done. Siri unbuckled, wincing. Her ankle throbbed from the ravine. She tested weight, hissed pain. Kane scanned her. Light cuts, breathing ragged. Her filter mask hung loose, alien design cracking under strain. We move now. External scopes pinged. Skiffs inbound Orun's fleet. Siri limped to the ramp panel, slapped it open. Hot wind blasted in, carrying sulfur reek. The flats stretched, cracked salt pans, bubbling vents, air shimmering with toxins. No cover for kilometers. Human shuttle down, Orun's voice crackled over open channel. Amplified, mocking. Surrender the lady or die in the poison. Kane shouldered his carbine. Rifled the crash kit, spare mags met gel, his breather mask. Siri's eyes widened at the flats. No path. Filters fail in minutes, my people know, Orun laughed. Hear that, soft skin? Even her kind shun the pans, bet you can't cross, not carrying her. Siri tensed, claws flexed. Kane met her gaze. Bet I can. He scooped her up, fireman's carry, easy over his shoulder. She weighed like a rucksack, muscle and bone. She stiffened, then gripped his vest, claws sheathed. Mari's overwatch, ping me slots. Copy, relaying to base, get clear. Kane bolted down the ramp, boots crunched crust. First skiff crested the ridge, blasters spitting blue lances. He zigzagged, Siri bouncing light against his back, her breath rasped near his ear. Elia's, toxins. Save it. He pushed harder, salt cracked underfoot, steam vents erupted left, acid spray. He veered right, lungs burning from fumes seeping past his mask. Rounds whipped past. One grazed his calf, hot sting. Ignored, Siri twisted, pointed. Vents cycle left now, he cut left. Geyser missed by meters, her weight shifted, guiding. Orun's voice boomed. Fool. She drags you down. Halfway, Siri coughed wet. Her mask hissed failure, cracked seal. Filters, gone. Kane dropped to a knee behind a crust ridge, pulled her around front. Her faceplate fogged, lips blue, crest dimmed. No time. He yanked his breather mask off. Human design, universal ports, but tight fit. Ripped tubing, jury-rigged a Y-split from his spare filter canister. Pressed the main mask over her muzzle. Clamps bit. She resisted. Your air, he forced it, strapped tight. Breathe. Exhaled slow through nose, rationing. His eyes watered from fumes. Her chest rose. Color returned. Eyes locked on his, defiance melting to something raw. Skiff engines whined closer. Blaster fire chipped the ridge. Up. He hoisted her again. She settled faster this time, one hand on his neck. Trust. Pans dragged at his boots. Sweat soaked his fatigues. Vision blurred, toxins biting unmasked. Lungs screamed. There. Siri pointed. Distant, sealed hatch, service relic half buried. Kane sprinted final stretch. Legs leaden, blasters scorched air. They hit the hatch. Locked tight bioseal, Siri slid down, wobbled on bad ankle, pressed her crest to the scanner, glow pulsed. Gears ground, hatch popped. She yanked it open, pulled him inside, door slammed shut. Dark, stale air. Kane slumped against wall, gulped unfiltered breaths, coughing fit. Lungs fire but alive. Siri peeled off the mask, offered it back. Yours, he waved it off. Keep till clear. Scanned the room, abandoned relay station. Consoles dead, dust thick. Power couplings cold. She leaned close. Crest brushed his arm, accidental. You crossed. Carrying me? Routine. He stood, limped to main console, popped panel. Human field trick bridged the starter solenoid with a mag wire from his kit. Sparks flew, lights flickered, system's word alive. Siri watched, rapped. Cold start, no codes. Basics, console beeped. Comms hot, he keyed Mari's. Relay up, extraction slot. 10 mics, vectors clear. Orun's skiff circling crash, buying time with ECM burst, ramp hot on ping. Copy. Kane logged coords, secure. Siri tested her ankle, hobbled closer, touched his gash. Medgel from pouch, cool on skin. Elias Kane, sergeant of impossible paths. He patched her cuts in return, fingers steady on her scales. Lady Siri opens doors, her laugh soft chime, crest flushed rose, hand lingered on his, sensors pinged. External hatch rattled Orun's breach team. Kane racked around. Company, she drew her sidearm, stood beside him. Together. Blaster fire chewed the door, but inside, shoulders touched. No words needed, Mari's voice cut in. Bird inbound, 5 mics, hold. Orun bellowed outside. Open, she weds or dies. Kane sighted the door. Not today. Siri's claw grazed his hand. Alliance forged in poison air. Door buckled. First enforcer burst through. Kane fired. Center mass. Body dropped. Second charged. Siri's shot winged him. He spun, fired wild. Kane sidestepped. Tackled low, zip-tied wrists. Third hesitated. Siri pinned him crest to throat. Yield. Gurgle, assent. Kane dragged them inside. Sealed door again, override engaged. Quiet fell. Siri's breathing synced with his. Close now in the dim glow. You fight for discards, she murmured. Anyone worth it. His hand found hers, scales warm, crest pulsed brighter, Overwatch chimed. 2 mics, hot LZ. They stacked at the exit hatch, weapons ready. Orun's skiff screamed overhead, noose tightened. But Kane felt her trust solid as his ruck. One bet won, more to claim. Engines thundered near. Ramp whine pierced the station walls. Ramp whine peaked. Kane yanked the external hatch lever. Sealed air hissed out. Toxic haze swirled in relay stations' failing scrubbers. He slapped his breather mask tight. Siri mirrored him, claws quick on her noble's rebreather. Go, Kane barked. He shoved her forward. They tumbled onto the landing pad. Skiffs howled overhead, Orun's gunships painting lasers across the deck. Mari's dropship burned in low, belly thrusters scorching gravel. Siri stumbled. Kane caught her elbow, pulled her behind a cargo crate. Blaster bolts chewed the edge, sparks flew. He returned fire 2 bursts. One skiff veered, smoking. Cover, he snapped. She leaned out. Fired her sidearm, precise shots. Pilot flinched off course, Mari's voice crackled. LZ hot, holding orbit, skiffs jamming me, 1 mic delay. Kane cursed under breath, no choice. He scanned the pad. Relay station's main block loomed 20 meters off, corridor access. Defensible, inside, now. They sprinted. Bolts scorched their heels. Siri matched his stride, crest flat against incoming fire. Kane kicked the corridor door. It slammed open. They dove in. He palmed the seal. Dim emergency strips glowed. Air thicker here. Scrubbers dead. Kane's mask fogged slightly. He stripped it, tasted the bite. Tolerable. Human lungs handled it better than most Xenos. Siri yanked hers off too, coughed once, coughed again, but eyes locked his, steady, quiet held. Distant skiff rotors thrummed, Orun's forces regrouping. She straightened, scales gleamed under strips, iridescent blue edged gold, crest lifted halfway. Sergeant Kane, you pull me from death twice. Name your reward. My house vaults gold enough for a fleet. Planetside estates. Human enclaves bow to such wealth. Kane checked his mag. Half full, he racked the bolt. Not after coin. Proof, who ordered the dump, your people left you to choke. Names, data trail. Her frill quivered, surprise, respect. Prefect Orun executes, but the order chains to High Seat Vren, my betrothed's clan. They strand me, make compliance seem fate. No escape but the altar. Kane nodded, practical. Broadcast it, tag Orun's unit ID, public net, let the core world see. She blinked, claws flexed. Risky, my name carries weight. Exactly, he slung his rifle. Pulled his backup SMG from the thigh holster. Compact human make, 20mm caseless, extended the grip, offered it but first. Trust stops being a feeling when I put this in your hand. Siri stared, took it slow. Scales warmed the polymer, her claws fit the guard perfect. Crest flared full rose. Heavy, balanced, 2-step cover drill. Kane stepped to the corridor wall, demonstrated. Step 1, lean, acquire, fire. He mimed it shoulder to wall, peak, imaginary burst. Step 2, pull back hard, reload on the move if clear, repeat. Breathe between. she mirrored, lean, sight down the rail, burst of dry fire, click, click, pulled back smooth, crest pulsed. Like this. Again. They drilled, her form sharpened fast. Alien grace met human rhythm. Bolts outside rattled the door, time pressed. Got it, she slotted a mag, racked it, stood taller. Kane grinned faint, competence recognized. He slapped her shoulder. Good, hold here. He moved deeper. Relay console hummed in the junction public broadcast node. Perfect, alarms wailed outside. Orun's voice boomed over external speakers. Relay station sealed. Lady Siri Ven emerge. Contract demands you whole. Resistance ends in breach. Kane patched Mari's. Pilot status? Skiffs peeling off one. Inbound hot, 90 seconds, make it count. Siri reached the console. Claws danced over holokeys. Noble codes unlocked at instant. Broadcast live, core net relay. Kane covered the door, rigged fast, corridor lights motion censored. He yanked panels, spliced power feeds, cross-wired to strobe pulse. High freak. Human eyes filtered it. Xenos, Seizure City, tripwire laser set. Orun corners us, this blinds 'em. She nodded, no questions. Feed live, her image projected, crest high, scales defiant. Citizens of the Vale conquered. I, Lady Siri Ven of House Thaler, refused the Vren contract. No forced union. Prefect Oruntal, Unit ID Zeta 7 Alpha, hunts me under false writ. Track his skiffs. Witness. Data packet fired. Orun's full ID tagged. Transponders, command chain. Public now. Core worlds watching. Station shook. Breach charges thumped. Door buckled inward. Kane flipped the trap switch. Lights exploded, strobing white hell. Screams echoed from the hall. Enforcers piled in blind. Clawing eyes, clashing armor. Siri executed the drill. Lean fire pull. SMG barked. First enforcer dropped, legs shot. Second tripped over him. She stitched his crest. Kane advanced, rifle steady. Center mass on the pileup. 3 down, zip ties out. He dragged the last live one clear, threw him against the wall. Yield, gurgle, nod, claws up. Orun bellowed from the pad. Ven, treason broadcast, skiffs inbound. Siri's console pinged, views spiking, millions tuning in. It's spreading, Vren's exposed. Kane checked the corridor, strobe still flashing, bodies twitched. Move, pad now. They stacked at the junction. Her beside him, SMG low ready, breathing synced. Engines roared closer, Mari's broke through. Ramp dropping, 30 seconds. Skiff fire raked the walls, shrapnel pinged. Kane kicked the door override, toxic wind rushed. Pad alive with enforcers, Orun directing from a hover platform. Blasters swept. Go! Kane pushed Siri, she sprinted, drilled fire on the run, winged an enforcer. He covered, suppressive bursts, pinned Orun's flankers, dropship screamed in. Ramp clanged down 10 meters off. Mari's turrets spun up, shredded a skiff midair. Siri reached the ramp, turned, covered Kane. SMG chattered, he bolted, bolt scorched his boot, dove aboard, rolled up, grabbed her claw, pulled her deeper. Ramp whined shut, G-forces slammed, Mari's punched out. Skiffs trailed fire, Kane stripped his mask. Siri did same, air clean here, she leaned close, crest brushing his shoulder. Proof demanded, given, weapon trusted. He nodded, hand on her scales, warm, steady. Fight's not over, Vren comes next. Her laugh chimed soft. Claw laced his fingers, together. Orun's last skiff exploded outside. Public feed still rolled, trust sealed, noose cut, new alliance burned bright. Mari's banked hard. Strap in, jump core in 5, where to ground pounder? Kane glanced at Siri. Her eyes' golden slits locked his, defiant, grateful. Core worlds, Siri said. House Thaler rallies with proof. Kane squeezed her hand. Human quiet turned the tide, discard no more, dropship jumped. Stars streaked. Orun's roar faded to static, but Vren's shadow loomed. Bigger fight called, Siri shifted closer, shoulder to his. SMG cradled like old friend, trust in action now. Weapons shared, proof broadcast, survival synced. Kane sighted the forward ports, comm settled, routine problem solved. Her crest pulsed against him, rose glow. Alliance deepened, Mari's chuckled over comm. Cute, don't get mushy, hostiles on scopes. Kane racked a fresh mag, ready, Siri mirrored, drill perfect, together held, noose shattered, fight claimed. Prefect Orun slammed his platform console, broadcast viral. Zeta 7 tagged traitor. Skiffs grounded by rope whipped through the roof breach. Metal fibers snapped taut. Mari's Holt's voice crackled over comms. Line down, Kane, 30 seconds to hot zone, move, SGT. Elia's Kane grabbed the line, he yanked Siri close. Her scales rasped against his tack vest. Golden eyes wide, crest flattened in fear. She clutched her SMG, claws dug into his arm, not pain, just grip. Clip in, Kane said, voice steady. Routine. Her trembling claws fumbled the carabiner. He took over. Snapped it to his harness deering, double-checked the lock. Her weight settled against him, warmth seeped through his gloves. Hold tight, legs around my waist. Siri nodded, scaled thighs locked, crest brushed his jaw. Vren's enforcers block streets, Orun inbound. Known, Kane hit the ascender, motors whirred. They shot up through shattered plasteel. Dust choked the air. Ruined hab block below, her people's dump site for discards. Dropship shadow loomed overhead. Thrusters blasted debris. Kane kicked off the ledge. Line swung them into the bay. He unclipped. Siri stumbled free, breath ragged. Strap her in jump seat, Maurice barked. Ramp cycling, ground teams pinging your six. Kane shoved Siri toward the seats. She staggered. Noble robes torn, scales smeared with grime. Defiant fire in her eyes. You risk all, why? Job. He racked his rifle, slammed a fresh mag home, bay doors hissed open. Open ground stretched 50 meters to the ship, wrecked skiffs smoldered. Zeta 7 enforcers swarmed from alleys. Siri grabbed his arm. No, they hunt me. Not you. Go. He pushed her behind a bulkhead crate, shielded her with his body. Stay low. Plasma bolts cracked the air. Blue streaks scorched the crate. Kane popped up. Sighted double tap. First enforcer dropped. Scales burst open. Second flanked left. Kane rolled. Shielded sprint started. He scooped Siri, hoisted her over shoulder. Her SMG dangled. Claws gripped his harness. Down, she yelled. Bolt grazed his pauldron. Heat flared. Kane zigzagged. Boots pounded gravel. Open ground hell. Enforcers closed. 6, no, 8. Orun's sigil on their vests. Rifles tracked. 10 meters to ramp, Maurice called. Ramps your choke. Pursuit heavy. I paint 'em. Hold fire. Kane dumped Siri behind a wrecked hovercar. Cover left. He slapped her SMG. She nodded, fired, precise bursts. One enforcer spun. Kane advanced, shield up. Active camo flickered. He picked targets. Headshots, bodies piled, enforcers faltered. Why human fight? One hissed over open channel. Routine, Kane ignored, flanked right. Grenade out. Spoon popped, arced it. Explosion shredded two. Shrapnel pinged his shield. Siri's shots cracked steady. Her noble training showed. Flank clear. Push! Kane grabbed her wrist, dragged her forward, ramp meters away, dropship idled, thrusters hummed, hoots echoed. Orun's squad burst from smoke, heavy weapons. Plasma cannons whined charge. Kane threw Siri onto the ramp. She slid inside, claws scrabbled for purchase. Elias, he spun, blocked the ramp controls, locked it half open. Get her up, he roared to Maurice. Ramp groaned, pursuit hit the doorway. Kane braced, rifle barked. Pinned them at threshold, bolts ricocheted, shields sparked. Enforcers jammed, Maurice said. Lifting, you got 10 seconds. Siri pounded inside bulkhead. Kane with me? One enforcer lunged. Kane smashed rifle butt. Skull cracked. Body tumbled. More poured in. Boots thundered. Then Orun stepped through. Towering, scaled face scarred, rifle leveled at the ramp gap. In his offhand, glowing data writ. Marriage seal pulsed red. Lady Siri Ven, contract binds. Come quiet or human dies. Siri froze inside. Crest flared white. Rage. Traitor. Proof broadcasts, house sees. Orun laughed, gravel rasp. Broadcasts lie, human puppet, step out, wed Vren, or watch rescuer burn. Kane sighted Orun's chest, finger tight on trigger, shield arm ached. Drop it! Orun's eyes flicked, golden slits narrowed. Terran. You meddle in Ven law, she discards, returns wed or dies. Plasma whined, cannon outside charged, ship shuddered, Maurice throttled up. Kane ramp retracting, jump, Siri lunged, grabbed Kane's harness, yanked. Together, Orun fired, bolt punched Kane's shield. Feedback jolted, Kane returned fire. Round stitched Orun's pauldron, blood-welled dark green, prefect staggered, but writ stayed high. Contract legal, compliance or death, Kane backpedaled. Siri's claws locked his belt. They tumbled inside, ramp slammed shut. G-forces pinned them, Maurice banked hard. Strap in, hostiles painting us. Kane rolled, pinned Siri to deck. Her crest pulsed against his neck. Rapid fear, fury, he covered her, rifles clattered. Alarms blared, impacts rocked hull. Skiffs inbound, Maurice said. Evasive. Siri pushed up, eyes locked his. You pinned them for me? Routine. Kane hauled her to jump seat, strapped her, then himself, her hand found his, claws gentle now. Orun's voice broke over emergency channel. Terran, she weds Vren, return her, or Zeta 7 hunts your worlds. Kane muted it, glanced at Siri. Her scales warmed under his palm. Proof. She tapped wristcom, feed live, earlier hacker refusal recorded, viral now. House Thaler sees, rallies, Maurice whooped. Jump core hot, coordinates. Core worlds, Siri said, voice steel. Thaler holds. Dropship lurched, stars streaked. Orun's roar cut static. Kane leaned back. Siri shifted closer, shoulder to shoulder. SMG between them, her crest brushed his mask. Rose glow started, trust sparked, but scopes pinged, Mari's cursed. Skiffs jumped with us. Vren's heavies. Kane rack slide, Siri mirrored, drill perfect, weapons shared, quiet competence held, noose cut, bigger fight loomed, hull rattled, pursuit closed, Siri squeezed his hand. Together! Kane nodded, sighted forward ports, routine problem solvable. Orun's skiff exploded on rear scopes, public feed rolled. Zeta 7 tagged, but Vren's shadow grew, alliance tested, Mari's banked. Strap tight, second jump prepped, where next, ground pounder? Siri's eyes, defiant gold, met Kane's grateful fire. Human quiet turned tide. Thaler Prime, she said. Rally point. Kane squeezed back, discard no more. Survival synced, dropship jumped again, stars blurred, hostiles trailed. Prefect Orun slammed his console light years away. Broadcast viral, enforcers grounded by command override. But Vren's writ burned hotter, hunt escalated. Inside, Siri leaned in, crest pulse steady. You trusted first, proof given. Kane's hand stayed, warm scales, steady beat. Fight S not over, her laugh chimed. Claw-laced fingers, weapons ready, trust sealed, Mari's chuckled. Cute scopes hot, Vren's pack inbound. Kane sighted, calm settled, Siri mirrored, together held, noose shattered, new path forged, but alarms wailed, breach detected. Vren's borders, Kane unstrapped, rifle up, Siri followed. SMG live, door hissed, shadows moved. Hull breach klaxons screamed. Kane kicked the inner hatch, sealed it. Mari's, Kane snapped Prefect Orun's wrist with a precise twist, bone cracked like dry branch. The alien enforcer howled, rifle clattering to the dust-choked platform. Kane kicked it aside, then stomped the holographic writ into glittering pixels. Data scattered on the wind. Orun clutched his arm, mandibles flaring. Human filth, she's Vren property, contract sealed. Siri staggered behind Kane, her scales dulled by dehydration, gold eyes fierce. She clutched his arm for balance. Kane kept his body between her and the prefect's squad, 5 enforcers fanning out, plasma carbines humming live. Back off, Kane said, flat tone, routine. He'd faced worse odds in muddier ops. Orun snarled, signaling his team. Blast scorched the air. Kane shoved Siri down behind a cargo crate, returned fire. His rifle barked, 2 enforcers dropped, clutching seared limbs. Non-lethal rounds, he didn't kill unless forced. Siri's claw dug into his boot. Sergeant Kane, recorder active. Her voice cut through chaos, invoking ancient alliance codes. Kane tapped his wrist unit. Hollow flared. I, Lady Siri Ven of House Thaler, claim asylum under Galactic Accord 47. Refuse marriage writ. Human witness binds refusal, legally irrevocable. The recording pulsed green. Binding, Orun's eyes widened, first shock, then rage. Lies, Vren's claim supersedes, Kane cited. Dropped another enforcer's weapon with a leg shot. She's invoking, you heard it, stand down. Enforcers pressed. Plasma grazed Kane's shoulder plate, heat bit, but he ignored it. Rolled left, tagged the 4th. Orun lunged one-handed, claws extended. Kane sidestepped, drove elbow into throat. Prefect gagged, collapsed. Last enforcer broke, fled toward their skiff. Kane grabbed Siri's waist, hoisted her fireman's carry. She weighed less than expected, scales warm against his vest. Hold on, dropship roared overhead. Mari's Holt's voice crackled. Ramp dropping, ground pounder, 30 seconds. Hostiles inbound from East Ridge. Kane sprinted. Siri bounced light on his shoulder, SMG gripped tight. She fired backward, precise bursts. One pursuer tumbled. Ramp thudded down 50 meters out. Mari's laid, covering fire. Twin cannons chewed rock, pinned Vren's reinforcements. Blasts whipped past Kane's boots. He dove onto ramp, Siri sliding ahead. Rolled her inside. She gasped, crests flaring pain. Kane slapped seal panel. Hatch hissed shut. Bolts locked. Dropship lurched skyward. G-forces pinned them. Kane unstrapped Siri, checked wounds, minor burns, dehydration worse. He pulled ration pack, forced electrolyte tab into her claw. Drink. She gripped his sleeve instead. Gold eyes locked his. Crest pulse steady, trust signal, alien body language he'd scanned pre-drop. Sergeant Elias Kane, I name you my chosen protector, under Thaler oath. We testify at Thaler Prime, together. Her claws laced his fingers. Warm, firm, not fragile, defiant. Kane nodded, squeezed back. Routine, we go. Mari's banked hard. Strap in lovebirds, Orun's ride lifting, scopes hot. Kane racked his rifle, sighted forward ports. Stars wheeled, Siri mirrored him, SMG ready, drill perfect. Weapons shared from his kit, her aim steady despite exhaustion, hull rattled, pursuit closed. Rear scopes lit, Orun's skiff damaged but gaining, Siri leaned close. You trusted first, no questions, humans. Extraordinary. Kane sighted a missile lock. Just doing the job. He fired countermeasures. Flares bloomed, skiff veered, ate dirt, exploded in fireball. Public feed auto-tagged, Zeta 7 incident. Viral already. But scopes cleared one threat. Vren's shadow grew. Bigger pack inbound. Mari's chuckled over intercom. Clean extract. Second jump prepped. Where next? Ground pounder? Siri's eyes met Kane's, grateful fire. Thaler Prime, rally point. Kane nodded, hand stayed in hers, warm scales, steady beat. Dropship jumped, stars blurred. Hostiles trailed. Light years out, Prefect Orun slammed his console. Wrist braced, eyes burning. Broadcast rolled viral. Enforcers grounded by override. Vren's writ burned hotter. Hunt escalated. Inside, Siri's laugh chimed soft. Claw tightened. Fight, S not over. Weapons ready, trust sealed. Mari's voice cut in. Cute moment over, scopes hot again. Vren's pack inbound. Kane unstrapped, rifle up. Comm settled, Siri followed. SMG live, alarms wailed, hull breach detected. Vren's borders, Kane kicked the inner hatch shut. Sealed it tight, Mari's status. Breaching charges on outer hull portside, Mari snapped. Evasive failing, they latched, cutting thrust. You got 30 to clear 'em. Kane braced, Siri at his side, crest pulsing alert. Shadows shifted beyond the hatch seals, claws scraping metal. He chambered round. Armory, grenades! She nodded, grabbed flashbangs from wall rack. Humans stalked heavy, door buckled, hiss of equalizing pressure. Kane yanked her back. Low profile. First border burst through, Vren Merc armored bulk. Plasma rifle swept. Kane snap fired, center mass. Merc crumpled, Siri lobbed flashbang. Blinding pop, screams echoed. Second Merc charged blind. Kane sidestepped, snapped its rifle away like Orun's, wrist crack. Boot to knee down. You fight like myth, Siri breathed, reloaded his mag smooth. Routine, Kane said, dragged her to auxiliary corridor. Flank them. They moved. Tight ship confines favored infantry. Merc's bulky, slow, and zero-G drift. Mari's spun ship. Purging airlock. Bayou 10. Kane breached side panel. Peeked. 3 Mercs stacking for push. Siri's SMG whispered, headshot on point. Kane suppressed. Full auto burst. 2 down. Last Merc spun, claws out. Siri met it head-on. Dagger from boot, slashed throat. Merc gurgled, fell. Silence. Kane cleared corners. Hull secure. Mari's. Purge worked. Jump in 5. Vren's fleet pinging us. Siri slumped against bulkhead. Crest dimmed. Protector, we live. Kane knelt. Checked pulse. Strong. Past water pouch. We live. Testify. Her claw found his again. Gold eyes softened. Human quiet, breaks chains. He pulled her up, steady, toward cockpit, jump engaged, reality stretched, but scopes pinged anew. Vren's capital ship dead ahead, blockade, Mari's cursed. Hot drop or fight? Siri straightened. Fight with him. Kane sighted main guns. Fingers laced hers on controls. Routine problem, solvable. Orun watched feeds light years back, wrist throbbed, human tagged, asylum viral. Vren roared orders, hunt personal now. Dropship dove into blockade fire, cannons live. Siri mirrored Kane's calm. Trust forged in breach. Noose shattered, path clear, alarms screamed, torpedoes inbound. Kane fired first. Missiles died, together held.